CCNA 4 Course T216B Connecting Networks Chapter number 6 Broadband Solutions. In this chapter we are going to talk about teleworking and comparing the different broadband solutions, how to configure digital subscriber line technologies or DSLs, and we will end up a session with summary. The main aim and objectives of this lessons are how to select a broadband solution to support remote connectivity in a small to medium sized business network, the benefits of teleworking solutions. Then we will talk about the business requirements of teleworking, what is a cable system and a cable broadband access, DSL system and DSL broadband access, different broadband wireless options. We can compare the broadband solutions and how to configure and verify a basic point-to-point protocol over Ethernet connection on a client router. Teleworking. What is a teleworking? Teleworking is conducting work by connecting to a workplace from a remote location using telecommunications. An efficient teleworking uses broadband internet connections, a virtual private network, a voice over IP, and a video conferencing. The employer benefits of teleworking: improved employee productivity. Teleworking staff is between 8 and 40% more productive than office working staff. Reduce costs and expenses, saving in a real estate cost equaling anywhere from 10 to 80%. Easier recruitment and retention, being able to offer flexibility, and it can reduce staff turnover by up to 20%. Moreover, it reduces absenteeism, improve the morale of the employees, improve the corporate citizenship, and improve the customer services. These are some of the employer benefits of using a teleworking. The government benefits of teleworking: it helps build a sustainable economy, it helps reduce contemporary problems such as traffic, it increases the productivity, it alleviates the symptoms of the digital divide, it reduces costs and expenses, it improves flexibility, and it attracts growth and development. The individual benefits of teleworking: number 1, productivity. Over 70% of the teleworkers claim they are significantly more productive. Time saving: less time to commuting. Cost saving: saving money on lunch, clothing, and commuting. Better health: less exposure to sick buildings, traffic accidents, and stress. Home and family: the individual able to spend more time with the family. Taking a control: the teleworker can take control over when and where the work is performed, and also over the myriad of other details of modern life. Flexibility: teleworker can make it easier to have a more flexible schedule. The community benefits of teleworking: it helps build a sustainable economy, which means a telework is a critical component to building a truly sustainable local economy. It increases the value of real estate due to less traffic, less smog, and lower demands for urban offices space, means existing green spaces and heritage buildings can be preserved. Moreover, it helps reduce contemporary problems such as traffic, infrastructure needs, and urban drift. It increases productivity, it alleviates symptoms of the digital divide, reduces costs and expenses, and it attracts growth and development. Determinants to telework: for the organization, more difficult to track the employee progress, necessary to implement a new management style, and for the individual, it's a feeling of isolation, slower connections, and distractions. Teleworker solution such as broadband connections, IPsec VPNs, traditional private WAN layer 2 technologies. Teleworker connectivity requirements. Comparing the broadband solutions. What is a cable system? In a cable system, we have a different equipment such as trunk, amplifier, and distribution cable, feeder. Cable and electromagnetic spectrum. Data over cable services interface specifications, or DOCSIS. It's an international standards developed by Cable Labs. They test and certifies cable equipment vendor devices. This defines the communications and operation support interface requirements for a data over a cable system. It specifies the OSI layer 1 and layer 2 requirements. Cable components. Two types of equipments are required to send digital modem signals upstream and downstream on a cable system. CMTS, or cable modem termination system, at the head end of the cable operator, and the cable modem, or CM. This component will be on the subscriber's end. DSL, or digital subscriber line, provides a high-speed connection over installed copper wire system. There are two basic types of DSL technologies, such as ADSL, or asymmetric digital subscriber line, and SDSL, which is a symmetric digital subscriber line. ADSL uses a frequency range from approximately 20 kHz to 1 MHz. ADSL provides a higher downstream bandwidth to the user than upload bandwidth. SDSL, or symmetric digital subscriber line, provide the same capacity in both directions. Local loops must be less than approximately 3.39 mi, which is 5.46 km for ADSL. DSL connections. There are two key components are required to provide a DSL connection. Number one is transceiver. The transceiver connects the computer of the teleworker to the DSL, and DSL access multiplexer, or DSLAM, which is located at the carrier's central office. It combines individual DSL connections from users into one high capacity link to an internet service provider. Separating the voice and data in a VSL by using the equipment such as NID ports splitter. Broadband wireless technology types. We have a municipal Wi-Fi or mesh, WiMAX, worldwide interoperability for microwave access. WiMAX is a single WiMAX tower can provide a coverage to an area as large as 3000 square miles. A WiMAX receiver similar in a size and the shape of PCM-CIA card, or a built into a laptop or other wireless devices. Cellular or mobile implementation wireless internet, 3G and 4G, third generation and fourth generation wireless. LTE is a long-term evaluation, a new and faster technology which is considered to be a part of 4G technology. Satellite implementations, one-way multicast, one-way terrestrial return, and two-way satellite internet. Comparing the different broadband solutions. Cable. In a cable, bandwidth is shared by many users. DSL, or digital subscriber line, having a limited bandwidth that is a distance sensitive. Fiber to the home. It requires fiber access network overlay. Cellular or mobile. The coverage is often an issue, bandwidth relatively limited. Wi-Fi mesh. Many municipalities do not have a mesh network deployed. WiMAX is limited to 2 megabits per second per subscriber. Cell size is 1.255 miles or 1 to 2 kilometer. The satellite is an expensive, limited capacity per subscriber solution. Configuring the XDSL. PPoE motivation, or point-to-point over Ethernet. It's the most commonly used data link protocol by ISPs is point-to-point protocol, or PPP. The PPP over Ethernet protocol allows the transmission of point-to-point protocol frames, which is encapsulated inside the Ethernet frames. Tunneling to create a PPP link over Ethernet. Point-to-point protocol over Ethernet configuration. Different steps are involved on a router. In this example, step number 1, PPP and IP on a dialer like interface dialer, then encapsulation PPP IP address negotiation. Step number 2, authentication inbound only by using the CHAP, challenge handshake protocol, in both ways by giving the hostname and password. Then dialer pool must be matched. In this example, the pool is 1 and MTU, which is 1492, and point-to-point over Ethernet client dial pooler number 1. Summary. In this lesson, we talked about the various broadband solutions which is used by the telecommuters and the branch office workers. We talked about the features and basic infrastructure behind each broadband technology, which enables the network manager to make an informed selection. We identify a DSL, cable and a broadband wireless options as the various broadband solutions, and we describe the basic DSL configuration. This concludes CCNA 4 chapter number 6. Thank you for watching.